God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. This is Chandra from Michigan. Just want to thank you for all of your information. I love your energy, love everything that you're putting out here for us. I'm so very grateful that I've found your podcast. Just a couple questions for you, hoping to get some answers back from you. Having a little bit of issues with the campaign, running campaigns for my product. We go really good for a while, for a week, almost 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden I have no sales, mostly maybe for the most of 3 days. And then all of a sudden one pops up. So didn't know if there's something you can suggest that I try. Also, reviews. I'm looking for more organic reviews. I don't know how to reach out to my people. I do have Feedback Genius. I don't know if you have any tips that I should use with that. And also, when do I know when to order product? Should I order product on my slow moving product? And when should I? And also, when do I start looking for my next product? I'm very antsy about that, but I've only been doing this for 3 months with my product. We have 17 reviews. Need some more tips. So if there's anything you can give me, I'd love it. Thank you again. Have a good day. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care.
Hey, Chandra, thank you so much for the question. And, you've got a few questions in there. I'm going to do my best to answer them. But the first thing I would say is on the kind of like the sales, on how they kind of like, you get a couple, then you don't get a couple. A few days go by, you get a couple, Number one, if you're not really doing a ton of promotion or Amazon pay-per-click or any of that stuff, then that can be the case. All right. Now, if you're running Amazon pay-per-click, we want to be able to start dialing in those campaigns to start getting sales on a regular basis. So we can kind of say, all right, I'm going to spend $25 today, and that's going to help me get whatever, 3 sales, 5 sales, 10 sales, whatever it is, whatever your number needs to be. And then from there, you can start to, I don't want to say that you can predict, but you almost can do that, if that makes sense. Because now you've narrowed it down, you found these converting keywords, and now you've pretty much dialed that in. But that doesn't mean it's a guarantee either. But when you do that as well, you are also then expanding out your reach, right? So that there to me would be the first thing I would probably say to focus on. Now, the other thing that you mentioned too is that you're working on reviews. So it sounds like you don't have as many reviews as you'd like. So maybe your competition has a lot more reviews and you don't have as many or near as many. So that could be a conversion problem. So my other question to you would be like, okay, you're saying you're not getting a lot of sales throughout this time period. But my question would be like, how many sessions are you getting per day? So instead of just looking at the sales, I'd be looking at, okay, what's my traffic look like for today? Do I have 50 visitors today? Do I have 100 visitors today? And I'm only converting one of them. That means I'm only converting, if I'm 100 visitors, I'm only getting 1 sale. That's 1%. We've got room to improve here. So now we've got a conversion problem. So see, I'm just reversing back kind of like what it could be by the data. Okay. So we need to look at traffic. We need to see how many visitors are coming there per day. Now, if you're telling me you're only getting like 5 visitors a day, well, now we have a traffic problem. We aren't getting enough eyeballs on our listing. So how do we increase that? Well, the easy way would be, the easiest way or easier way would be really going out and really diving into some more campaigns and some pay-per-click to get those eyeballs, right? But until you can really know that your conversion is going to be worth you spending a lot more money on pay-per-click, is you need to be able to see the conversion metrics, right? So we need to get visitors, and then we need to see how many people convert. Once we understand that number, and let's say that now we're at a 10% conversion, then we know, okay, if I get 100 people to my listing, then I should convert 10 of those to sales, right? Because now that's 10%. But if you don't have 100 visitors and you're still converting at 10%, you only have 5 visitors a day, well, that's not going to work, right? We're not going to be able to get that number to where we're going to be able to get our 10 sales a day. So I would focus on looking at the data first, but then I would look at the traffic coming in. So I would say, okay, I got 100 visitors today. How many of them converted? Well, none. Well, that means I got 0% that day, right? So we got some improving to do there. Do we need better images? Do we need more reviews? Is our pricing too high? Is it too low? Like those are the different things that we have to think about. So I would look at all of that stuff. Now, talking about the reviews, you talked about using Feedback Genius. I think it's a great company. I use them in the beginning as well. Currently now I use SalesBacker, but it does basically the same thing. So it sounds like you need a follow-up email sequence in place. Now, I think Feedback Genius gives you probably some, I don't know if they give you templates, but they definitely give you some recommendations on what to do. I do have a email sequence that I send out. There's 3 emails, one after it's been delivered, then like 3 days after they've received it, and then I think it's 7 days after that. And you can find that, I believe it's a template that I have there for you at theamazingseller.com/email. And if you go there, you'll find kind of like that sequence, and you can implement that. So if you're using Feedback Genius, just have to create the 3 emails that you want to send out, or 2, however many you want to do. And then what are the trigger points that's going to send out that email? So a trigger point would be like after the item has been received from the customer, it's been, basically been delivered to their house. That's when you would want to send out the first email. And then maybe after 3 or 4 days, they've had time to use it. Then that's the next one. And then maybe 7-8 days later, then the next one. So that's how I would do that. So it sounds like you don't have any of that in place. I would definitely recommend doing that like ASAP. So there's some things to think about, or anyone else that's thinking about, well, my sales just aren't there. You got to ask yourself, like, what are the numbers though? Like, what's the data? Like, if the data is there as far as like, you've gotten some time to have, traffic come to your site or to your listing. And then from there, you get to see your conversion. And then from there, you get to see, can you improve that? Then you can start talking more about Amazon pay-per-click and all of that stuff. So hopefully this has been helpful to you and whoever else is struggling at this stage, but it's really a numbers game. It really does come down to a numbers when you're at this stage. You did ask also about maybe thinking about product number 2. The only time I would think about product number 2 is if I was thinking that product number 1 just wasn't going to take off because it was just too saturated, or I've already exhausted everything I can think to do to push this product and I don't really want to push it anymore. I'm just going to, branch off of this product, maybe add another product that's similar to it to maybe help with sales that way, but then maybe take a new approach at picking a product because maybe it just wasn't done properly, or maybe you rushed, or maybe you thought you had a product that was good and it wasn't. I mean, we learned through this process. So that's what I would recommend there on that as well. So good luck to you. Keep me posted. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.